Americans who are reportedly missing in Ukraine. Have you been briefed?
I have been briefed. We don't know where they are, but I want to reiterate, Americans should not be going to Ukraine now. Say it again. Americans should not be going to Ukraine now. They should not be going to Ukraine.
The reports of the 3 American fighters that are missing in Ukraine is that 2 of them have been captured. But in spite of that news, Russia is saying that they don't know where these guys are. Now, according to the reports, a Kremlin spokesman has said he does not know what happened to the 2 military veterans who went missing while fighting in Ukraine. Reports have claimed they were likely captured by Russian fighters while fighting in Kharkiv region, but this has not been confirmed. Speaking with CNN, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, "No, we do not know anything about it." Alex Zhueki, 39, and Andy Hun, I hope I pronounced his name right, 27, have not been in contact with their families since June 9th. Yesterday, a photo emerged on Telegram which appeared to show the 2 Americans in the back of a military truck. However, this photo has not been independently verified by Sky News. If these are the 2 soldiers and this is the photo that they're speaking of, they pretty much look captured to me. The 3rd American that is missing is a Marine veteran named Grandy Kapasi. Now, according to reports, the last time friends heard from Kapasi was between April 23rd and 24th. That's almost 2 months. But it says he served in the U.S. Marine Corps for 20 years, retiring in November 2021. It says he chose to volunteer alongside Ukrainians in Ukraine, but initially did not envision himself fighting on the front lines of the war. It says that he really wanted to go and help Ukrainian people, but he wasn't really planning on fighting. Now, there are reports saying that the Russians were mocking the captured soldiers, saying something about your trip to Ukraine for easy money has ended badly. It says Zhueki, 39, and Hun, 27, are believed to be among hundreds of Americans, if not more, who traveled to Ukraine in hopes of helping to repel the Russian invasion. They are among at least 3 Americans who have been considered missing in Ukraine as of Thursday. According to one of the other soldiers, they said that the pair were taken prisoner after encountering a large Russian force during a 9th of June battle northeast of Kharkiv. Zhueki, he served 2 combat tours in Iraq, and he was teaching the Ukrainian troops how to use American-made weapons. Hun spent 4 years with the U.S. Marines. This is what an American soldier had to say. We knew that by going over there and serving the government of Ukraine, that little to no protection would be extended to us, and that the U.S. government will be powerless to help us, said the veteran who asked not to be identified. He says, "For the first time in my life, we had the head of state making a public cry for our assistance, not just to fellow governments of the world, but to the citizens of the world to help. Given the nature of what he was asking for and why, it was hard for me not to answer the call." He says, "We were told, you can stay, but if you're gonna stay, you're gonna be a fighter. And so, we had a decision to make, and we decided to stay." I didn't feel bamboozled the veteran added. At the time, Russia was firing, long-range attacks with precision attacks against critical targets the entire length of the country. So, we knew that anywhere in that country, the possibility of death by explosion, shrapnel, or other things falling down from the sky was a possibility. So these soldiers knew what they were getting into. They knew the consequences. And now the commander-in-chief is saying in simple terms that, hey, ain't nothing I can do. You guys are on your own. And American soldiers were warned when this was first taking place not to go. But you felt heroic, and you thought that you could beat the Russians, which I don't understand why you thought that, because the Russians beat the Americans once. So they had to hire the Taliban. And they keep talking about the experience that these soldiers have in war. That war in Iraq and that stuff, that was a cakewalk. This is nothing like Iraq, I'm quite sure you know now. And the Russians are not just some simple guys that you can go in and think you're going to beat and come back home. Now, with all their expertise and training, they got captured. And we can only imagine what is going to happen to you, what type of interrogation that you are going to go through. The Russians are playing this I don't know game by saying that we don't know what these soldiers are. And, when it comes to war, why would they say, yeah, we got them? This is a chess match. And my feelings about this war in Ukraine is that let the Ukrainians take care of themselves. Because we have problems here in America that needs to be dealt with. And while you're going to Ukraine to try to fight, you should be trying to fight here. They always talk about how Russia is killing innocent people. Well, innocent people are dying here in America. And while you are trying to stop the murders in Russia, you should be in America trying to stop the senseless murders and killings here. Every week, some guy's going crazy with these mass killings. No one is asking the question, why is this happening in America? You can't blame it on the guns. It's the mental state of these people that are committing these crimes. And there is so much killing going on every week. It seems like war. And how can you stop a war in Ukraine when you can't stop the war here in America? It seems like every other day, some person that is upset about something wants to go and just kill multiple people. When those black people were killed in Buffalo, they were saying that it was all about racial hatred. What's going on now is just about hatred, period. Hate is spreading in epidemic proportions, and no one has looked into what is causing all of this recent hate. People are all upset, and no one is looking into why are people so upset today. Is it the lockdown? Is it the economy? Is it because people are now, in a way, being forced not to be sociable? People are talking about the replacement theory. Well, my theory is that people are replacing themselves. You commit these murders and crimes, only two options: death or imprisonment. I know one thing that could have people all upset is the inflation. These gas prices. It's just in my opinion. I feel as if these soldiers going to trying to solve problems in Ukraine should be here in America, since they are Americans solving problems here in America. Now you went down there and got yourselves captured. And war is never, ever the answer. But for some people, especially Americans, feel is that war is necessary. People are talking about how people are being killed unjustly in Ukraine. But people are being killed unjustly here in America. But no one seems to care. Our attention is abroad and not at home. I've heard several people saying that Brittney Griner should have known better. These American soldiers that went to Ukraine to fight should have known better. The soldiers that went to fight in Iraq, they were briefed. But what type of briefing did you get when you got to Ukraine? I heard the soldiers say that they thought they were coming out for one thing and ended up being something else. That was to fight. Now that third soldier that they were talking about, it's been, like I said, almost 2 months since he's been missing. And it don't look so good for him. If the Russians do have him, man, I know they are putting him through the ringer when it comes to interrogation. The way I see it, these American soldiers are giving Putin more chess pieces. Now I know the families in America want these soldiers released. But what would they have to give up for these people to be released? Or is this a plot to get America deeply involved in this war? I really think that America made a bad decision with getting involved in this war, even by supplying aid to Ukrainians. Now you got to send soldiers to teach them how to use this equipment. And it's not working. They keep saying that the Ukrainians are holding their own. But there's evidence that they are not. And these American soldiers being captured is proof of that. All we can do is hope and pray for the safe return of these soldiers and Brittney Griner. So to anybody else that is contemplating going to Ukraine to assist the Ukrainians, here's a message from your commander-in-chief.
There are 3 Americans who are reportedly missing in Ukraine. Have you been briefed?
I have been briefed. We don't know where they are, but I want to reiterate, Americans should not be going to Ukraine now. Say it again. Americans should not be going to Ukraine now. They should not be going to Ukraine.